Imagine standing in the middle of a violent storm, lightning cracking above you, winds howling, and the air thick with electricity. The pressure builds, every inch of your body tense with the energy of the storm. You feel as if you're about to break apart, but you don't. Because this storm isn't outside of you, it's inside you. This storm is your anger, a force we've all been taught to fear, to control, to shove deep down and pretend it doesn't exist. For years, we've been told that anger is the villain, that it destroys relationships, clouds our judgment, and leads us to chaos. But what if everything you've been told about anger is a lie? What if, instead of burying it, you could harness its energy and use it to propel you forward in ways you never imagined? What if anger isn't the problem? It's the key to unlocking the next level of who you are. In this video, we're diving deep into the hidden power of anger. This isn't about rage or losing control. This is about embracing the raw energy that lies beneath the surface, shaping it into fuel for your personal growth, and using it to evolve into a stronger, more powerful version of yourself. So buckle up. The storm you've been avoiding might just be the very force you need to unleash the best version of you. Why you've been lied to about. We've all heard it. Calm down. Don't be so angry. Anger is bad. Society has conditioned us to believe that anger is a weakness, something to suppress, hide, and control at all costs. We're told that emotional peace means silence, and emotional control means shoving every feeling into the darkest corners of our minds. But here's the truth. They've lied to you. Anger isn't a flaw, it's a signal, it's a messenger telling you that something isn't right, that boundaries are being crossed, that your needs are being met, or that your values are being violated. Suppressing anger doesn't make it disappear, it transforms. And not in a good way. Suppressed anger doesn't just vanish into thin air, it metastasizes into something more toxic: self-doubt, passive aggression, anxiety, unexplained fatigue. When we pretend anger isn't there, we invite those negative emotions to take over our lives, often in ways we can't even recognize until it's too late. Think about it. How many times have you felt exhausted, angry at nothing in particular, or irritated without a clear cause? That's your suppressed anger manifesting itself in passive, invisible ways. And here's the kicker. It controls you more when you ignore it than when you acknowledge it. The challenge here is this. You don't need to calm down or push anger away. What you need to do is wake up. Wake up to the fact that anger, when processed and understood, has the power to drive your evolution. It can fuel your growth and unlock new levels of emotional resilience. It's not a force to fear, it's a force to embrace, to understand, and to use. In the following sections, we'll break down how you can begin to reframe your relationship with anger, turning it from an enemy into a powerful ally. The hidden intelligence of anger. We often view anger as an uncontrollable force, one that erupts without warning and leaves destruction in its wake. But what if we told you that anger isn't a random outburst, but a deeply intelligent emotional signal that is trying to communicate something crucial? Anger flares up when something in your life is out of balance, when your boundaries have been crossed, when injustices have been allowed to fester, or when you're living a version of yourself that doesn't align with your true potential. To understand anger's hidden power, think of it like fire. When left uncontrolled, fire can burn everything it touches, leaving nothing but charred remains. But when properly harnessed, fire becomes a tool of creation, a force that can forge steel, generate warmth, and illuminate the dark. This metaphor holds true for anger. When channeled and directed, anger has the potential to forge the strongest version of you. It's not a destructive force unless you allow it to be. It's a powerful source of energy that, when understood, can be used to fuel your personal growth and transformation. Psychological studies have shown that anger, when processed and directed, can increase focus, resilience, and problem-solving abilities. This is why anger has often been described as a catalyst for transformation rather than destruction. Properly directed anger enhances your ability to concentrate on tasks, sharpen your decision-making skills, and face challenges with determination. Think about it. When you're angry, your body and mind are fully alert. The energy of anger is an intense motivator that helps you take action and overcome obstacles. Far from being an emotional liability, it's a tool for harnessing your inner power and propelling yourself forward. Instead of allowing anger to consume you, you can use it as the ignition to move toward positive change. By recognizing anger's role as an ally, you can tap into its immense power to evolve. How to transform anger into strength. Now that you understand anger is not your enemy, it's time to dive into how you can transform it into strength. Here's a step-by-step process to help you harness the energy of anger in a constructive way. Step 1. Awareness. Feel it. The first step in transforming anger into strength is awareness. When you feel anger rise, don't immediately react or suppress it. Take a moment to pause and simply feel the emotion. Instead of pushing it away or pretending it doesn't exist, give yourself permission to experience it fully. Ask yourself, where is this anger coming from? What's at the root of it? Is it a boundary that was crossed? An injustice you're witnessing? A personal violation? Understanding the source of your anger is essential to transforming it. Anger is a signal that something needs to change, and the more aware you are of its cause, the better equipped you are to direct it productively. Step 2. Control the flame. Direct the energy. The second step is to control the flame. Remember, anger is raw energy, and energy is neither good nor bad. It's neutral until you decide how to use it. When you feel anger rising, don't let it turn into an out-of-control fire that destroys everything in its path. Instead, channel that energy into something purposeful. This could mean putting your frustration into a productive activity, such as working out, tackling a challenging project, or even organizing your thoughts and feelings through writing. Physical movement, like exercise or running, is especially helpful for channeling anger into positive energy, releasing tension and turning aggression into action. The goal is to use that energy to fuel something that moves you forward, rather than allowing it to consume you. Step 3. Convert the fuel. Purpose over chaos. Finally, anger without purpose can lead to chaos. The power of anger lies not just in its energy, but in what you do with it. This is where you must convert the fuel of anger into something meaningful. Ask yourself, what is the goal or purpose behind this emotion? What do you want to build with the energy you've tapped into? Without direction, anger can quickly become destructive, leading to impulsive decisions or emotional outbursts. But when you define a purpose, whether it's creating change, standing up for yourself, or channeling the emotion into creativity, you turn anger into a constructive force. Think of revolutionaries like Martin Luther King Jr. or creators like Steve Jobs. These individuals took their anger at injustice, at inequality, at limitations, and used it to drive powerful movements and innovations that changed the world. They didn't suppress their anger, they transformed it into a tool for revolution. The final truth: you are not broken. Let's come full circle. The storm inside you, it was never meant to be silenced, it was meant to be mastered. When you think of your anger as something to fear, you give it power over you. But when you realize that anger is not a sign of weakness or brokenness, but rather a force that can fuel your personal evolution, you shift your entire perspective. What if the very thing you've been taught to suppress, the storm of anger, is the force that will set you free? What if, instead of seeing it as a curse, you saw it as a gift? Anger is not the villain in your story, it's the hero in disguise. It's a powerful tool, waiting for you to harness it and use it to build the life you want. It's time to stop fearing your emotions and start embracing their intelligence. You are not broken. Your anger is not a curse. It is a raw, untapped resource that, when used correctly, can transform your life. The storm inside you is not a force to hide from. It's the energy you need to fuel your next chapter of growth. Embrace it. Channel it. Let it become the power that propels you forward. If this message resonated with you, share it. Someone you know might be struggling with anger, thinking it's a weakness, when in fact, it's their greatest strength, waiting to be unleashed. Don't just suppress. Don't just react. Transcend. Harness your anger, transform it, and use it to become the unstoppable version of yourself you were always meant to be.